Hello, beautiful people. I am Christin Endter. I'm a curator and dramaturg based in Berlin.
And I'm Gili Zaidman. I'm a curator based in Tel Aviv.
We are both mothers and are here today to talk about art and creativity and the struggles with it and the struggles with COVID and our profession. And this is actually the second of our conversations that we planned, and in the third we are going to open up the conversation for you, so you can ask questions or share your thoughts on these topics and share your experiences, because this is usually what we are doing in our work, that we work with our stories and the stories of people in the communities that we work in. And because usually we work in transdisciplinary interactive projects in the public space that is not really possible at the moment, which is why we use the space that we've got, and we always invite other people into the space that we have, which is at the moment the Zoom meeting. But so far so good as introduction. Maybe Gili, you can say something about the frame of the Hand Face Space project.
Yeah, so as Christine said, it's a series of conversations, actually 3 talks, in a project titled Hand Face Space, which is part of a project by the Future Forum, who also funded this one, People to People Playground, as they called it. And we actually want to create our own playground to learn from one another and to meet, interact, and also maybe I don't know if keep some distance, but there's something about playgrounds when you play with all the kids and the trees and everything around you, but you also do things by your own. And I think maybe it's part of the part of life anyway, but part of COVID for sure, to find also like an inner concentration in something. And collaboration is something that is very important and part of our like inherent part of both Christine's and my practice as curators and dramaturg. And before we joined forces again for this one, the last time we emailed each other was before Christine was before she went to a residency in Bali, and she was already a mother. And I think now is a good time to share, if you want, Christine, what happened in Bali and how was it for you as a mother, like going for an adventure with your family, which is a professional adventure where the 3 of you are. I'm picturing the beach, but I don't know exactly what you did in Bali. And it's like a nice example for life and creativity and possibilities.
Yeah, true. That was, I think, actually it wasn't the first project that I did after giving birth to my first son, but it was for sure an endeavor to connect the private life and my professional self. And I know that, like, when I speak about going to Bali for residency, it comes from a very privileged space that I was able to, because of course it wasn't fully funded. I got some money from the Goethe Institute in Indonesia, and I had some support, local support there, in order to carry out my research, and a beautiful residency space in, called Rumah Sanur, and they supported me with space for some sessions where I gave like workshop sessions, network sessions, in order to share my skills, my knowledge, and also connect with others and learn from them. So I got this support, but obviously that's not enough to fly to Bali and to stay there. So yeah, it was a great possibility to bring my family along, to make sure that my 10-month-old son was safe and equipped with everything that he needed, like diapers, which is probably not in all places as in Indonesia as accessible as in Bali or Thailand. I mean, these places are just good for families to travel there with their kids. So this played a big part in my decision that if I wanted to do a residency with 1-year-old, then okay, I go to Bali and then I find some collaborators there, and that worked out really well. And I'm really glad that I had this possibility to, after this time of sort of maternity leave and really not being as involved as I used to in artistic projects, to kind of like get back into the saddle and work on new collaborations and new artistic projects. But it was, I must admit, a huge struggle for me to really connect both the private and my professional self. So I wasn't used to stay away from my kid for more than 4 hours. And so I was sitting there giving the sessions and really enjoying the conversations with the others. But afterwards, I really needed to go back to my partner and my kid, just because I missed them so much. And there's this part of being torn between my own creativity, my own drive for developing projects, and being there as a mom. That's a struggle that stayed with me since he was born, and I guess probably until he's grown up. And yeah, and I guess this struggle and this guilt part, when we were preparing these conversations, we talked a lot about the mother guilt. And yeah, and I got to know that already since the beginning. So it was an amazing experience in Bali, and I'm really glad that I did it, even though artistically I'm not as satisfied maybe with what I came out with in my research and my yeah, like trying to collaborate with people as I used to, I guess. Being there as a mom, this was like totally good to connect, and I'm okay with what I did. But if I compare it to what I used to aim for in collaborations and in artistic projects, I think I could have done more. Just that at this point, yeah, I guess it's always this balance that needs to take place. And I'm sure, Gili, you know also very well with even 2 kids, how it feels like to always try to cater to both sides and to satisfy all the different people in these family constellations.
I think like I'm listening to what you're saying, and I thought about 2 things that the refrigerator, I spoke about it last time, and I think it's one of the biggest things I done together with Iris Prodetsky, and at the beginning also with Omri Ben Arzi. and and obviously it's like a crucial point in my practice. And it was like at the beginning it was only an exhibition and happening in a really mind-blowing large-scale industrial refrigerator. And we had this time frame where we can do it because there was nothing at the building at the time. And we set the opening date to the 38th week of my pregnancy. Like there was something with the building that like we could have done it in June. And I said like, okay, I'm due on the, I don't remember now what it was. Like I'm due like a few days afterwards. So it's a perfect, like we have all the time that we need, and we can, like looking back, like how clueless can you be that you set an opening for like a 2,000 meters art event for your 38th week. And it was glorious, really. I love this project. Like I'm talking for myself. I'm not saying like, but we also got really wonderful feedbacks. But for me, it's really. And it was a 3-day event, and on Saturday, like the third day, one of the artworks was a multi-channel video work by Skander Kopti. Four people talking heads, Skander and 3 other people talking about talking. Never mind. Now I want exaggerating. And we placed the chairs for the spectators in a circle. So if you watched the video, it's if you are sitting with Skander and his friends and listening to the conversation. And it was Saturday, and I thought that if like I just went there because there was a chair there, and I sat there with Skander. He was at Abu Dhabi at the time, I think. And I thought that if I won't sit now, I'm giving birth here in the refrigerator. Like, and I sat there listening to their memories from their school in Jaffa, and just like breathing. But there was something very, very. It's not even good. It's vivid. It's like this feeling that you are a superwoman. Really, in my first pregnancy, I was a commercial for pregnancy. I felt so alive, and I loved going with dresses, and like I was so happy. And it never occurred to me that maybe I'm doing something that is too stressful for my unborn child. And I remember people saying, oh, like this girl, she will grow into art, like she's always here. And also when we continued working, I was independent, working with Iris Pradatsky, and Tidia was there. She was always there. And we usually, like, we had meetings with artists in playgrounds, and we were talking, and she was swinging, or like, she was there, and everything was very, it's not simple, because it's never simple to have children, and obviously like the first kid, but with Yotam, like there was a lot of things going on, and
Yotam is your
it's my second son. Yes,
yeah.
Thank you. And like there was something more stressful at the time, in many aspects, and he was born, and he was the most, I don't know, amazing creature. And like when he was 1 month old, we realized that there's something is wrong. And until we got the diagnosis, like it took a while, but you are talking about guilt, and like I thought, like I think that because also like you shouldn't compare, but you always compare. So with Tilia, everything was so like beautiful and inspiring, and with Yotam, not because of just something with this time frame, like there was all kinds of struggles and uncomfortable things, just, you know, life. And I thought, oh, it's like, and then also it's a genetic disorder, but it's not, it's called I forgot the word. It's not something that Itai or myself have. It's too bad I forgot the phrasing. Never mind. So I thought, okay, so if it's nothing, it's something that it's not from us. So maybe it's something with the pregnancy. And I forgot to take omega-3, and like, what did I do that like, and it's like, I know that it's not relevant, but you're supposed to, it's not even taking care, it's just feel their world, and even with an I and double E, like you just there, and something went wrong, but it's no one's fault, but you're looking for the answers, and you're looking for the way to undo it or redo it, and there's blame and guilt, and but it's really irrelevant, and you just take your energy from you and your surroundings. So
and you said that you felt the need to just leave art and your creative work for some time to be with the kids, or it wasn't as important anymore because you had other things to do, like talking to doctors and being there for your kids. And
we actually, I started working again when Yotam was 4 months old, and then I resigned a few months afterwards, really not even a year, when we realized, I remember the physiotherapist told us, I believe this kid will walk. And we were like, it's a question? Like, and then we realized, okay, like, the focus is here. And yeah, like, I guess I thought or felt I don't have the time for it. And I found it in other things. And I think, like, even like, regardless to my children, I said it last time, like on the first conversation, and I do believe it. It's that we experience art everywhere. When I wrote my thesis, and I also established, I don't know, an alternative curatorial platform titled Guest House. And the idea was that art comes to you. It's like a takeaway experience in a way. Like, you don't necessarily go to a museum, you enroll to this, then like, it wasn't a site or something, because now I would say just an app, but then we didn't do it. I collaborated with 3 more partners, Ronit Porat, Meir Sadan, and Avner Pinchovel. And the idea is that art comes to you, and you host it in your house, your home, and it comes with a kit that, like, every day you open another envelope, and then you realize, like, you find out who's the artist, what's the title, context, and also questions that relate to like, do you think that where you placed the work, is it like, does the work pleased with this position, or did you move something to make it more comfortable, like humanizing a bit the art piece? And so, and I think one of the things, and this is why I'm mentioning this, like we all have art, like it doesn't matter if we are really collectors or that we have I don't know, some poster that we bought at the museum's shop, or something that we really liked in IKEA. Like it doesn't matter. This is our art on the wall or on the shelf. Like we and also now with COVID, like playing with our kids or looking at nature, like it's there all the time. It's like I'm really stretching it, but also as artists, like we see things and then we channel it and to our art form, like depends whatever that you're doing. And so what I'm saying is that I let go of my practice. I'm now in baby steps, like coming back to it, but I think I found it in my routine, in doing things that are not really art, but it was art for me at the time. But I wanted to say that because you were talking about Bali and like, I think there's something when we are younger, we don't really understand our boundaries, but because of that, like we succeed more. It's like when like now I would never open an exhibition on my 38th week. Like it's not possible, it's just stupid. But I made it and I enjoyed doing that. And it's a shame for me to think that I could have not done it, because I would think that, okay, I would be tired. It's like, it's too much. Like it's just not responsible. And afterwards, I think that sometimes we are driven too much from our, I don't know if it's fears, just like sometimes, like there was one point that I realized that I'm telling Tilia, my older daughter, like be careful or you'll fall or things like that. And like, she's a kid, and if she'll fall, she'll fall. But now she won't climb something because her mother thinks, or like the elderly thinks that she might fall. So like, where's the fun? And talking about feminism, I think I read it, maybe I heard it somewhere, that like girls are being told more often to not climb, or like be careful for the clothes or something like that. And if she was a boy, maybe okay, so he'll hurt his knee. And so that's also something that I'm trying to be aware of. Like it's like the not sitting next to the table for kids in a way.
Yeah, I think this whole aspect of gender equality and equity, we spoke about it a little bit in the first conversation, that this COVID crisis has been called the crisis of feminism, because women are more likely to be put in the home taking care of the kids, and that a lot of the achievements have been reversed. But I think that it probably depends also a little bit where you look at, in which social circles. Again, it has to do with privilege again. And for me, or for us in our partnership and family, we are very cautious about maternity, paternity leave, about projects, about what is important for whom and who spends how much time. We try to divide it equally, and I think we manage really well. I don't know how we're going to do it with the second child, which is in the making, and I'm due in a week, so it's very exciting. And I guess it's also a privilege that I have a partner who supports me in pursuing my artistic ideas and creative ideas, even though they are financially not as contributing to our family income as his day job, and also my day job in a museum is not as contributing to our family income. But in a way, yeah, to see it, the money part away from like what is it what you want to do and who can contribute what, is something that you have to discuss, I guess, in a partnership. But and this goes then again into the whole gender thing, that how do you want to raise your daughters or your sons, and it shouldn't make a difference. Very often it does, but actually it shouldn't make a difference. But before I go too much into this, I wanted to get back to a point that you mentioned about being more understanding with yourself when you pursue your projects, to let go of expectations and pressure and find your own pace with doing projects. That sometimes, yes, sometimes it's possible to work on 4 different projects and being pregnant and I don't know, managing it all and having the energy and also the creative mind to take it on. And then sometimes you need to take some space to save up energy, to be there for your kids, or to to wait for when the moment comes back. I guess this patience, that's something that when you're younger, you're not as comfortable with, or not as patient, maybe, because I think for myself, I'm just learning now that I need to define my own definition of success. I need to define what does success mean to me and for me. And I realized since being a mother that it needs to be in a balance, and I define that balance, and it's not the same every day. Like maybe one day the balance that I need and that I experience means that I'm there the whole day for my son, and painting and going out with the bike and like doing kid stuff. And then maybe the other day means that I'm really invested into some research or some creative collaboration, and and that I need to be patient and forgiving with myself in feeling what I need and what is right for the moment without pressuring myself. And that very often results in problems, maybe, or again discussions with the people in my surroundings, so either my partner or people I collaborate with. Just before we were talking, you and I were talking about having each other's back in collaborations like you and I are doing at the moment. Like whenever you want to realize a project and you are in a team, that you need to be able to trust each other and to in a way have each other's back. And for me, that's something important in the artistic process when I work with other people, that there is this providing a platform for each other, having each other's back, empowerment issues, and also in raising kids and in being in a relationship, that it's actually very, very similar. But you had some nice thoughts also about the whole having each other's back, partnership, collaboration aspect. If I don't know if you remember, but maybe you can say something about it.
I think for me, yeah, not for everyone, but for me, I think I work better when I work with other people, and in my practice, I always work with other people, because it's either I'm co-curating for producing something, or I'm working with an artist on a solo exhibition, but the dialogue is there, and it's always there. And I think that for me, again, like starting at news, it's hard because it's like it's not the second album, but like I was quiet and almost 40, and like like, you know, all the I need to break the the glass before I just stay there like a sleeping beauty. But I, in a way, I like it how life take you to places. Like, I don't like the fact that my son has a disorder. I remembered that it's a de novo. The mutation is de novo. That it means that it's not from the parents, but it made something very clear, and in a way gave me a backbone. And I'm not sure where I'm going and what is the right direction. And also now with COVID, it's not that like I can just choose. Like, people are losing their jobs and are not working from last March, like it's a year now. And so it's not that someone there is waiting for me, but again, no one ever did. And I have something that is very important and clear for me. And when I'll get there to that, like the new path that is mine and is right for me and my family and my ideas and my ideals, it will be stronger. Like, because it's I do believe that it's in a way cooked, was like slowly cooked during this time that it's like I didn't do anything, but it's not really correct. I did a lot. I just did other things than what I thought that I would be doing. But it's there, and it's my experiences, and it will get me somewhere. I will get myself somewhere. And so we'll see.
Do you think have you always been this patient with yourself? Or because you mentioned that at some point Tilja asked you if you were retired because you took some time away from work, and that now you're thinking, yeah, maybe you could have done more, but on the other hand, it's okay to be for some time out of the collaborations and the practice, and to then get back into it, because from now you seem very at ease with the decisions of, or like with taking time to care for kids, and you don't seem to have concerns also, like what I told you, that I used to have these voices in my head, and like, okay, nobody will know what I did if it's not high quality enough, or if my collaborations aren't as known, and if we don't present in, I don't know what, like the last time that I presented something in the Copenhagen Art Week, that was 4 years ago. So, and since then I've just been doing some smaller projects, like whatever I could do, I did, and whatever I liked doing, and whatever was whatever fit into what I needed it to be. So how did you experience that, or is that?
I think that when Tilia asked me if I retired, it was a huge red light, like echoing and echoing again, because also sometimes I'm looking at pictures, just family pictures, and I see it's not something that I'm proud of, but I see that I'm tired. I see that I'm not so like, I think that now maybe I'm more accepting or positive about it, or understanding in a way what happened and what, like, my choices, because there's something also, I'm happy that we are doing this project. And as I said, it's baby steps, but like one should start at some point. And in quite a ridiculous, sad way, like with COVID, from one hand, I'm really stressed that how can I find a job when everything is so unclear and almost unfunded, really. Budgets are just cutting and cutting off. But from the other hand, most of the people are at home, and in a way I can what's the word, like I can sync again, like sync with my colleagues, because if you're at home for a year or almost 2 years, it's not the same as if you are home for 2 years and everyone else are just running without thinking of where they're going, because they had plans to 2022 and they're just doing it, and you're like, So I'm hoping in a way that it's like a train with every stop, like slowing down. Yeah. So now everyone slowed down. Some of them even stopped, and now they're like, the engines are again. So maybe if I will run fast enough, I could catch the train. Like it's even I didn't think about it. It's a phrase, but when I thought about the train, I didn't think about the catching the train. So yes, but
I think something that you mentioned, and I guess we both agreed that that when we had families, or like, yeah, at the beginning or since then, that we realized that if we want to do art or creative projects, that it needs to be sustainable in a way that matches our energy level and sustainable for our family life, and also from the financial aspect, just simply that before, I also worked for different projects, and then it was kind of sustainable because I did so many projects. But when I was pregnant, and then when I had Arvid, obviously I couldn't work parallelly on 4 different projects. So this finding a way that is sustainable, I guess, is a huge aspect. And I guess COVID made that clear, even more clear than before, that when, or if, no, let's say when you want to live an creative life, that it needs to be sustainable. And I think a lot of creatives and artists neglect that point a little bit, just because it's the passion and you want to do that. But COVID showed that with all the cutting of international travels and residencies and funding, that a certain way of living this creative life is not sustainable. And I think, I don't know how other people in the art world are doing it at the moment, to find different ways to sustain themselves and to have an sustainable answer to how do you do your work and how do you live a creative life. I haven't really found a permanent answer. I found one answer that fit into the whole sustainable aspect of, like, needs to cater to my family life and help me be in flow and in balance, and leave some space also for creativity, is a part-time job that I found 1.5 years or 2 years ago, that leaves me time to take care of my kid, and gives me also time and space to play with ideas and be a little bit creative. But I don't know if the whole depending on funding and creative with the sustainability, I just think it goes into when we talked about struggles, what are the struggles that we deal with. And for sure it is the whole balancing family life and creative life aspect, but also the struggles with funding. And how do you find sustainability in the whole living with art, depending on funding? I don't know. What do you think?
First of all, I don't know. But I think for now, when I'm thinking about art in healthcare areas, I think that because it involves with health, so I want to say there should be funding, but I can't even say it because I know it's not true. And also, like we talked about last time, it's like what defines healthcare and well-being, and
Basically,
obviously, obviously culture and education and I don't know, comfort were not part of dealing with COVID, and so I really don't know how I will do it, but I hope that I will. But what I want to say is that in a way, I think that I'm approaching an area, not an area, like a field of life. I don't know exactly how to say it, even in Hebrew, but that it's basic, like medical, like so. If I'll manage to have art as part of the healthcare institutes, it's like I hit the jackpot, because it's so it's just life. It's just life, and also like dealing with the public and social issues and connection and communication, and like art is the language of what we want to speak about. So when art and healthcare is intertwined, it's like I don't have to explain it why it's important. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm just saying it because it's so clear to me, and when I try and do it, I'll just I wanted to, never mind. I'll just
I think I know.
I hope that won't be proven wrong. But it's like I'll say something which is maybe a bit offensive, but it's like you want to have a project, and you know that if you write education, you'll get the money. Now, if you're really doing it from a sincere place, and education and art as like, so it's wonderful, but you have to use like keywords and slogans, and it's because it's education, so we will fund it because education is important. But it's like you have to, like art, it's like it's not education. So if it's just art, so it's not important. If it's education, so it's important. But it's like I just see it as one. So again, like if I'll manage to get to like a medical attention, so I feel it will be more solid than to just speak about art. Mm-hmm. But I'm so not there yet. So I just, this is like, do you have like a desire or something that you want to do, or something that you, like you said, maybe continue something that you started in Bali, or like?
No, I wanted to actually rather go back to what you said, because we need to wrap it up. And just, I felt that you very beautiful came back to a point that we spoke about yesterday, also at the end, with the white cube and the why do we do art, and how do we want to contribute to society, like what do we, apart from being enlightened and feeling the sparkle, and that we want to connect people, that we want to shift perspectives and reflect on something, processes in the society that are happening, and engage in a conversation or add to a conversation that is happening in society, and then add a new thought in that, and that we, both of us, want to bring art and our artistic thoughts or creative ideas to people, and to bring it out of the white cube, which is so funny because at the moment we are sitting in kind of like white cubes, but yeah, to bring our thoughts out of the white cube and into life of people. And for you, this idea with the healthcare sector is where people are, and where they maybe could experience more artistic ideas and be moved by that, be changed by that, be enlightened, or just that what makes it better in a way. Like, I think this is an very beautiful and very honest and maybe also needed aspect. I mean, it's always, when you do art, it's always this, okay, should art be political? No, then it's just newspaper. But like, if art is only aesthetic, then I think for me, then it's something missing. But when you bring your own need into why do you want to do something, when you bring that into a project and you bring it to other people, I think this already transforms something. So I guess with the whole art and healthcare aspect, and how is it needed and where is it needed, and is it needed more than other COVID regulations? We think yes. Politicians think no. They have a different point of view on this, but I would like to see what you come up with and how you develop that. And I think this is what's so beautiful about the artistic process, that everything starts with an idea, or with like a playground like this, where you toss up ideas and thoughts in your head, or you share your toys with somebody else, and then you do something together. And then along the way, within this artistic process, there is being a project developed that you had no idea what came out of it, just because this is how it goes. And so I guess this is what we are also trying to, I don't know, achieve or do within these conversations, just to share a little bit about what does art mean for us, and to show maybe how the artistic process is being developed, because we're both curators, apart from all the other things that we are and that we do. But usually you're not involved in like the process when curators talk and think about ideas. And like, this is something that usually is not really shared in the public, that you don't get to see. And parts of what we talk about may be of use for us or for others, and maybe parts we toss and we think, okay, it's not necessary. But I think this is what I like about being in this stage of this creative process, this playing with ideas and sharing thoughts, even though you're not sure if this is really, like, if this makes sense or if this will lead to something. But you have these ideas and you'll develop it in some way, and something will come out of it. And then you look back once you have this project in an, I don't know, medical institution. You realize something after, I don't know, maybe in half a year, who knows. And then you look back and think, yeah, this is where it started. And it didn't start here in our conversation. It started way back. So I guess that's beautiful. And maybe we can talk about other projects in the future in our next conversation, or we'll think about what we want to propose. And for sure, we will also ask if there's somebody out there who wants to contribute something, and we'll propose some topics. And I definitely look forward to the conversation.
Me too.
Ah,
Me too. It's you can just say me too.
that's a different.
I
That's a different
yeah.
essence of empowerment that we didn't touch here today.
Yeah. But I would conclude, like, following what you said about the social aspects and the aesthetic. I think that as curators, in a way, it's our one of the parts of the job is I don't know if putting things in context, but I think that if an artist is really into the aesthetics and their story and subconscious and conscious, like it's their journey, like whoever I'm collaborating with. I'm trying not to, like, I'm avoiding he and she, so I went to plural. I moved to plural, but it's the two things. One is that the outcome, if it's, I'm not talking about the work, the artwork itself. I'm talking about the art event or the exhibition or the like the outcome is already in a wider social inviting status, and in order to do so, I think this is one of the reasons that artists are in touch with curators, working with curators. It's not that I'm really like the art is not my own. I'm just there and reflecting and putting things into context, and into text also. And but about, like, going to the beginning, to all the collaboration and dialogue, it's not that, and also a bit of feminism, because it's not that I'm echoing someone else's thoughts and feelings. Like there was something about the dialogue that also changed something in me. Like I brought something. Let's even talk just about the curatorial text, and or something in the, like, let's stay with the text, because I think it's like whatever the event is, you have a text, some kind of text. So I brought something into the text, but also all the conversations and the getting to know each other, like it's there, and that's what makes the dialogue a dialogue, because I'm not echoing someone else's work. I'm putting something into words because of the collaboration, because we got to know each other, because I was revealed to a new subject, or to a subject that I know, but by someone else's eyes. And this is the thing, I think. I hope it's a good conclusion. Maybe it's like, maybe it's not strong enough as a conclusion.
I think if I understand you correct, like this, we're talking about reframing also, like taking something and then reframing it into something else, like putting it into a context, like a different context, or like a new context. And
I don't know if it's a new context, but it's to take something and make it, I guess, more accessible, because you have a talk or a text or something about the outcome reached its ending in a way. And it wouldn't be the same if there was no collaboration. But also, I think that's what makes it. It's like a social thing to do while we are saying something about our society, or not even about our society, but because it's out there, it's also reflects on the society. Like there's a range of artistic work, and sometimes it's more social and sometimes it's less social, but the fact that you share it, and if you really want to share it, and if you really occupied with like the engagement of the spectators, of the public, of like where it's going to be, what will happen, how will people interact or feel about it, then you are, in a way, you're not done with your process, but you're not only within yourself. After you are so, it's like two positions. Like you're really has to be true with yourself, but also look around you and see what does it mean to be so true to yourself.
And also where does it fit? Like
where does it fit?
People who are in the collaboration, and it needs to fit the time and the space and
the budget.
Yeah. So it's the same with our project, that during the time that we did, and both of us brought their experiences in and their stories, and we were trying to make it personal and be honest about where we come from and our struggles and our ideas and so on. And then we are contextualizing this, and we're trying to put it out there and find the right form for it, like, I don't know, the internet. Let's see. So I guess we should leave it like that and not take up too much more time, and then see what we bring in and what other people bring in for the next
for the first conversation.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Wow, I enjoyed talking to you, Gili. Thank you, and I hope the others did
very
too.
much.
And then, see you soon.
See you soon, and thank you for all of those who listened to our conversation and to Future Forum, and for you, Christine, for making this happen. And see you later.
See you later. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.